With the roadmap to No Mercy being more clearer after last week's show, we welcome you to the final edition of SmackDown Live before No Mercy, live from the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Brandon DeJesus back after a 1-week absence along with my partner Jacob Dulac, and out comes the Universal Champion Roman Reigns.
First of all, welcome back, Brandon. You missed a hell of a show last week. And what a way to start up this week with Universal Champion Roman Reigns on his way to the ring.
And Roman Reigns comes into the Target Center here tonight, now with a clear picture for him heading into the first SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view No Mercy. He will be taking on his former rival Sheamus for the coveted title.
It's true, Sheamus and Roman are no strangers to one another. They dropped the WWE title to one another back in, what was it, 2013, Brandon?
It would be back in December of 2015. It all started when Sheamus cashed in the Money in the Bank contract at Survivor Series and won the WWE title from Roman Reigns. Then they would go on to have a brutal tables, ladders, and chairs match. And then the next night on Raw, Roman would win the WWE title, from the Celtic Warrior.
And, well, I guess bad blood never really does die between these two.
Absolutely not. And then, during Roman's reign as WWE Champion after he beat Sheamus, he had to defend his title in the Royal Rumble 1 versus all.
You mentioned 1 versus all. That's certainly how Roman Reigns must feel right now, getting jumped by the bar all the time.
And each edition of SmackDown Live has ended with the bar on top.
And it looks like another champion is about to be joining us. Someone else who has had his fair share of troubles with the bar. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE Champion AJ Styles.
And speaking of the bar, AJ Styles will be defending his WWE Championship against Cesaro Sunday at No Mercy.
You know, it's really interesting to me that AJ is out here because he and Roman haven't exactly seen eye to eye since being drafted to SmackDown Live. And yet they find themselves with these common enemies with Sheamus and Cesaro.
And these two, they had a feud over the WWE Championship back in 2016. Let's see what AJ has to say. So it looks like AJ, he wants to be in Roman's corner for his matchup tonight against Cesaro.
1 versus all, no more. Finally, the odds are even. After weeks of the bar getting one up on either of these guys, they decided their strength in numbers. Speaking of strength in numbers, I don't know that that's going to be much of an advantage in this next match. Last week, Bo Dallas went up to Braun Strowman, offered him a spot in the B team. Braun miraculously said he'll do it if Bo and Axel can beat him here tonight.
I mean, I understand, Jacob, that this is a 2-on-1 handicap match, but much like Noam Dar several weeks ago, I do not think that the B team knows what they have gotten themselves into facing the monster among men.
You know, I heard that B team have been hitting the gym extra hard all week, trying to get ready, trying to get psyched up. I don't know that it's going to be enough to save them.
I mean, they could have worked out as long as they wanted to. Again, I think they got an uphill battle ahead of them against this monster among men, a former tag team champion over on Monday Night Raw.
I mean, you got to remember, Braun Strowman went through an entire elimination chamber, essentially enduring a 5-on-1 scenario where he was deemed the #1 threat. And he still made it all the way to the end, eliminating almost everyone along his way.
Yes, at the Elimination Chamber, but last being eliminated by Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns was the one who ended up earning the championship match at WrestleMania over for the Raw brand. But Braun Strowman has his focus all on Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, the B Team.
You know, say what you will, Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel are coming out here with the same confidence and bravado that they usually show up with.
And they've been part of a couple of real good tag team matches over the last couple of weeks on SmackDown Live, looking to get themselves potentially in SmackDown Tag Team Championship contention.
Yeah, the way Bo put it, all they needed was a little bit of muscle. And, well, it's a whole lot of muscle if they could get Braun, but that's a really big if.
It looks like Bo Dallas will be starting things off against the Monster Among Men, and the bell sounds are underway. Bo Dallas tried to attempt a clothesline on the big guy, and what a massive big boot.
Yeah, Bo tried to get a little bit of momentum going right there, but Braun was all too quick to shut it down. Braun doesn't even seem worried right now.
No, and hence why he was pandering to the crowd, and that's something you don't really see that often from Braun Strowman, a German suplex.
You know, it's funny, in the hands of someone else that would have been a German suplex. With Braun, it was just a careless throw of someone over his head. Well, no surprises so far. Braun is very much in control. He's actually signaling for Axel to get in there now.
And it looks like he will. Curtis Axel, a former tag team champion and intercontinental champion in his own right. Bo Dallas,
my God!
Oh my gosh!
Bo Dallas just taking Braun off his feet.
Now that is something I did not think Bo Dallas, let alone Curtis Axel, was able to do.
But you see that the moment Braun left the mat, fell down, they swarmed him like locusts.
But Braun got right back up and looking to trying to build some momentum back, taking down Curtis Axel with an axe handle.
You know, I don't think Braun is like really dealing with the effects of that, but I just think that might have infuriated him, that he actually let the B team catch him off his guard for a second there.
It's almost like a bug flying off of Strowman, and it almost seemed to piss him off a little bit.
Absolutely. You see him now just taking it to Axel. Oh, man. Giant dropkick there from Braun.
It shows just the sheer athleticism.
What is
and
Bo
agility.
Dallas doing? Okay, Bo tried to get him. Braun tried to get him. Braun finally got his hands on Bo. That didn't work out, whatever Bo was trying to do there.
And Strowman back down.
But Bo actually managed to trip him up. Got him in a little single leg Boston Crab for a moment. I think Braun was just too massive. Basically pushed him off immediately.
Oh, no. What is he doing? A choke slam.
A monster choke slam.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
here it is.
Now, this is the Braun Strowman that we all know. And he has Axel above his head and slamming him right back down to the mat.
But can you imagine, Brandon? Oh, man. I say this as Bo seemingly tried to get a little something going. Didn't work out. Can you imagine if B-Team actually manages the miracle of the century here tonight, and Braun Strowman is forced to... Oh, my God!
It'd be as much of a miracle as the 1-2-3 Kid upsetting Razor Ramon back in 1993.
Can you imagine? That would mean Braun has to join the B-Team. Braun in the B-Team. How would that even work?
Body slam there from Strowman to Bo Dallas. Going back to work on Curtis Axel.
This has essentially turned into a tornado handicap at this point.
And the referee...
Oh, man, Axel actually getting Strowman over the top right there, and oh, this is a mistake.
The referee is not even doing anything about it.
I think the referee realizes that it's only a fair match if they're both in there.
Strowman gets himself back into the ring. Are you surprised with how long this match has gone?
I don't think so, because B-Team are a very capable tag team behind all of their goofiness, and they've been able to stay in it largely because, well, it's been 2-on-1. Oh, God! Braun might have just killed Bo Dallas.
I mean, Strowman, he's feeling the pain right now, but he has Curtis Axel up for the running power slam. Is that going to do it?
Count to 1,000. This one's over.
It. Suffice to say, Jacob, he's not joining the B team.
He's not joining the B team. And Braun Strowman on a warpath here on SmackDown Live, leaving BT literally laying in his wake. I can only imagine what's next for the Monster Among Men.
Well, take a look at this. Who wants to walk with Elias?
Elias making an appearance for the first time since losing to Mustafa Ali on the very first episode of SmackDown since the draft. You know, I was speaking to Elias in the back, and he actually said that until he finds a crowd that he deems worthy, he's not singing.
Well, this Target Center crowd, I mean, we'll see if he changes his mind. I mean, he has his guitar with him.
He has the guitar with him, but I don't know. He's scouting them out. I guess we'll see whether or not he deems them worthy of walking with Elias. Oh, here we go, Brandon. We might hear it. We might hear the magical, melodious voice of Elias. Or maybe not.
Looks like Elias is ready for action here tonight on SmackDown Live.
Placing the guitar in the corner. I guess we're not hearing anything. Anything but love and a giant, massive ovation for Johnny Gargano.
Former NXT Tag Team Champion.
Yeah, Johnny Gargano, of course, winning the hearts and minds of the WWE Universe with that incredible showing against Roman Reigns just a few weeks ago.
Of course, that came in a losing effort, but you really got to give Johnny Gargano so much credit because he, suffice to say, he pushed Roman Reigns to the limit.
Oh, he absolutely did. We really saw what Johnny Gargano was made of in that match. He took the Universal Champion to the absolute limit. We honestly thought Johnny was going to pull it off for a couple of times there. And now he's got a chance to actually get another win and get back on the right track against Elias.
Two former NXT alumni here in this matchup here tonight as the bell sounds and we are underway.
You know, both Johnny and Elias made their SmackDown debuts just 1 week apart, and both of them lost. I can only imagine that both of them really are desperate for a win here tonight.
Yes, absolutely, and Gargano is definitely looking to redeem himself after, again, a great showing against Roman Reigns.
Oh!
What better way to do it against Elias, as Elias goes for the cover here, and Johnny Gargano is able to kick out at one.
Man, Elias here clearly with the size and strength advantage, but Gargano's got that speed and agility and some expert striking techniques. Of course, let's not forget, he's a very adept, oh my god! Super kick sending Elias over the top rope. As I was saying, Johnny Gargano, let's not forget, is a very adept submission wrestler. Ooh, I think he caught Elias with what looked like a diving leg lariat there.
Johnny Gargano has been around the world and now here to prove himself in the WWE. It's no question that he was high on the priority of page during the WWE draft. With a spear through the middle rope. Gargano goes for another cover here. Could he get the win after that spear? No, he kicks out at two.
It's going to take more than that to put away Elias, so that was a beautiful slingshot spear.
And still to come here in our main event, AJ Styles will be in Roman Reigns' corner as he takes on who AJ Styles' opponent is going to be at No Mercy for the WWE Championship, Cesaro.
To great scouting opportunity for AJ to be there, and it's another opportunity for both him and Roman to finally come away with a little bit of momentum because they've been seriously lacking on this road to No Mercy.
As you remember last week, Jacob, Sheamus, he attacked AJ Styles after the match. Do you think he was doing his partner Cesaro a favor by softening him up before No Mercy?
Absolutely. I mean, when they made the match, Shane McMahon made it clear that Cesaro was not allowed to lay a finger on AJ Styles that night. He didn't say a thing about Roman after the match.
As Johnny Gargano counters Elias here, what does Gargano have in mind?
Gargano, big spinning kick right there. Oh, man, but Elias just booting straight through his chest.
And Gargano had no choice but to exit the ring. Very back and forth here so far between Elias and Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Johnny was doing there. I think he was trying to get another springboard move of some kind going, but he couldn't quite pick his spot, and Elias just immediately walked over and, well, gingerly suplexed him.
Johnny Gargano was part of quite possibly the greatest NXT match that I have ever seen in my life. Him against Andrade Cien Almas back in NXT TakeOver Philadelphia.
Andrade Cien Almas, of course, getting drafted to Raw, doing some great stuff over there.
As Gargano goes up to the second rope here, waiting for Elias to get back up. What could he have in mind as he spins off? Oh my goodness!
That was beautiful. A spinning complete shot.
As he goes for the cover, and Elias still able to kick out.
Oh, Johnny Gargano, what's he going for here?
Oh, what a spine buster!
Guess it didn't matter. Elias had his number right there. Oh, almost got Gargano.
Putting Gargano back up. Elias has him in the electric chair position. Oh, and a reverse powerbomb! Insane! Puts him into the cover, and he kicks out.
You know, so many people look at Elias and think, this guy, you know, he's just an act. You know, he'll show up, he'll sing, and then he'll leave and lose. This guy is incredibly talented. He has moves like that in his arsenal. You never know what he's going to pull out and throw at you. Oh, but Gargano tripping him up.
Gargano escape!
The Gargano escape!
He has Elias locked in the Gargano escape. He's close to the ropes, but he has no choice but to tap out.
Johnny Gargano, speed and agility coming into effect right there. Able to get out of, I think Elias was trying to set up for the drift away. Tripping him up right into that Gargano escape, and Elias having no choice but to tap.
That ultimately cost Elias, and Johnny Gargano, I would say he redeemed himself extremely well in this matchup here tonight on SmackDown Live.
I gotta wonder where this leaves Johnny. What's next on his to-do list? What does he really have his sights set on here on SmackDown Live?
I would like to think big things.
It's been a wild year for Johnny Gargano. In NXT, tormented by his former best friend Tommaso Ciampa, showing up on the main roster, coming up just a little bit short against the Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Finally getting this big win against Elias.
Johnny Gargano standing tall here tonight on SmackDown Live.
The rebel heart of Johnny Gargano shining through the darkness. Big things are in the future of Johnny Wrestling. But I gotta wonder, where does Johnny fit in this landscape of SmackDown Live? Is he gonna aim for tag team gold? Is he gonna aim for singles gold? Who knows? The future is open. But just the same can be said for our next man, Zack Ryder. Oh, hold on. Drew Gulak, Jack Gallagher. What is going on?
Look at Gulak!
Man. Oh, God, a huge discus lariat. Drew Gulak and gentleman Jack Gallagher have been tormenting Zack Ryder these last couple weeks. Zack was scheduled to face one of them here tonight in a rematch. I guess they decided to take the fight to him before the bell even rang.
Zack Ryder can't even stand up. He can't even run himself back into the ring as Gulak continues the assault.
Zack Ryder, oh, try to get a little bit of offense. Hold on a second. That's Kurt Hawkins.
And we know the history between Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. They were former WWE Tag Team Champions together.
Kurt Hawkins, oh my god, Hangman's Facebuster, he calls that one turning heads. Oh god, but there's Jack Gallagher reminding Hawkins that this is a numbers game right now. Hawkins trying to get back into it, Gulak taking over. Now it's just 2-on-1, this is ugly.
It absolutely is. Zack Ryder is out on the outside with no help to be seen for Kurt Hawkins. This is just a mugging.
Oh, man. That was gross. What could have been a really nice, warm reunion right there just fell apart. Now, this is interesting, Brandon. Alicia Fox is here on SmackDown Live. Here's the thing. Alicia Fox was not drafted at all. So, she's been given an opportunity here tonight by General Manager Paige to come, to show up, and to show that maybe Paige made a mistake in not drafting her, and maybe, just maybe, Alicia could be walking out here tonight with a contract in her hands.
Well, frankly, Jacob, I think it's all dependent on who she faces here tonight. Could it be someone who would be rather easy for her, or could it be a rising star in the women's division here on SmackDown Live? We'll see.
Well, for all we know, she might be facing the women's champion, which would be no easy task, but I guess we're about to find out who it is. Oh my! Not an easy mountain to climb here tonight, as we have the SmackDown debut of the War Goddess, Ember Moon.
And congratulations to Ember Moon, as she was a newlywed over the weekend. She just got married, so congratulations to her.
Absolutely, and what a lucky man it is that ended up with Ember Moon. But now, I'm sure that wedding is far removed from Ember's mind, as she has her eyes set completely on Alicia.
Ember Moon, a former NXT Women's Champion, definitely had some classic matches with Asuka, and Asuka and Ember Moon happen to be on the same brand.
It's only a matter of time before those two cross paths again, and I, for one, cannot wait till we get a rematch between Asuka and Ember Moon.
Yes, me too, and we'll see how she does here against Alicia Fox. We can't exactly, look down on what Alicia Fox has done here in the WWE. She became the first African-American Divas Champion in history.
No, you're absolutely right. The thing with Alicia Fox is that she's her own worst enemy. What's going on in her head, it changes seemingly at the drop of a dime. Oh, man, Ember catches her with a big power slam.
And we're underway here.
Alicia has developed this reputation of being a total loose cannon. No one really wants to associate with her. And whenever she's in matches, that can work to her benefit, but there's so many times where she has cost herself the match.
And Ember Moon showing her athleticism with the sunset flip and the cover from the top rope there.
Actually, you mentioned that Ember Moon and Asuka, her two old rivals, are together again here on SmackDown Live. Alicia Fox has someone else on SmackDown Live with a lot of history. Someone by the name of Noam Dar.
Oh, yes. In fact, back when 205 Live was around, yeah, definitely Noam Dar had his affection for Alicia Fox.
Who could ever forget the sheer bombardment of Alicia Fox?
Ember Moon goes for the cover, and Alicia Fox is able to kick out at 2.5.
Oh, man, a rebel scream there from Ember. Alicia Fox is not having a good go of it in there.
Ember Moon really needs to avoid the axe kick, because that axe kick could lead Alicia Fox to a SmackDown contract.
It very well might, I mean, you remember what happened in 2016. Heath Slater remained undrafted in the draft, finally got a contract on SmackDown Live, went on to become the first ever SmackDown Tag Team Champion. And now Alicia might be trying to follow in his footsteps a little bit.
Talk about a wonderful Cinderella story that was.
Absolutely. Of course, if it were to happen with Alicia, we'd have a very batshit crazy Cinderella for once.
Absolutely.
Actually manages to catch Ember. Ooh! That was like an alley-oop powerbomb turned into a snake eyes right there.
Ember Moon takes an opportunity to regroup as she goes off the rope. Oh, and the diving crossbody.
Ember Moon has got to be one of, if not the most athletic women in our division today.
Especially for a woman her size. Rather, when you see her live and in person, she's rather tiny in the ring, but man, can she bring it.
I mean, I don't know that size matters that much in the women's division. I mean, 5 Feet of Fury, Alexa Bliss is, what, a 5-time women's champion? I see absolutely no reason Ember Moon can't follow in her footsteps. Huge handspring forearm right there.
Could she be setting things up? Waiting for Alicia to get back up for the... Could she be going for it? The Eclipse! Oh, thanks for coming, Alicia.
There's only one woman to have ever kicked out of the Eclipse, and Alicia Fox is not about to join such a lucrative company.
Oh, man, no contract for Alicia Fox, but who knows if she'll get more opportunities in the future.
Yeah, it wasn't Alicia's fight, but boy, oh boy, was it a great night for Ember Moon, making her debut here on SmackDown Live. Take a look again at this crazy athleticism by Ember Moon. The Eclipse, one of the most beautiful and yet devastating finishers in the entire WWE.
I still remember when she made her debut in NXT. That move just... I was just in awe. My jaw dropped as Ember uses it again to get the victory over Alicia Fox on SmackDown Live.
Ember Moon, dangerous when focused. I think there's big things in store for Ember here on SmackDown Live. Speaking of dangerous when focused, the Revival, Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder making their way to ringside. They have a big match here tonight, Brandon.
They absolutely do. Looking to get themselves in the championship hunt for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Looking to face the team of Bobby Roode and Chad Gable.
Yeah, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, of course, getting a Tag Team Championship opportunity against Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre at No Mercy. What could it do for the Revival if they actually beat the #1 contenders here tonight?
Well, it can definitely do a lot. I mean, heading into the No Mercy pay-per-view, you would like to think that if Roode and Gable do win the tag titles, they have to be right there to get the shot after.
Oh, absolutely. And you know the Revival are hungry as ever for opportunity. They feel like they've been absolutely mistreated ever since coming up from NXT.
The first ever 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions are Dash and Dawson of the Revival.
But now, Brandon, can you give me a hallelujah?
Hallelujah! Bobby Roode is here. Everything is glorious when the former NXT champion is in your presence.
I bet you that robe right there costs more than either of us make in 1 year.
I wouldn't doubt you right there, Jacob. I mean, but Bobby Roode has it because he's simply glorious.
Bobby Roode, a former NXT champion, a former United States champion. He's no stranger to tag team wrestling, and he'll be looking to pick up his first WWE Tag Team Championship this Sunday at No Mercy.
And them getting a win over the Revival, a rather dangerous team, will definitely be very big for them.
Of course, speaking of no stranger to tag team wrestling, Bobby Roode's partner, Chad Gable, of course a former NXT Tag Team Champion, a former SmackDown Tag Team Champion, looking to get right back into the thick of things as champion if he and Bobby can dethrone McIntyre and Ziggler. Speak of the Devils,
the Tag Team Champions. And I was just about to say, Chad Gable, the hometown boy, he's from Minneapolis, Minnesota, but it looks like he won't be competing here tonight.
Yeah, right now Paige was scrambling in the back to try to figure out who to send out here as a replacement. Looks like we're getting the Fashion Police out here right now. Oh my God, what just happened, Brandon?
Looks like the tag team champions wanted to soften their opponents up for No Mercy. That way they could potentially have an easy night this Sunday.
My God, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable being helped to the back right now. But I guess what is Gable and Roode's loss right now could be Breezango's gain, as they find themselves from having no match tonight to suddenly getting on the card.
And I gotta imagine, Jacob, that makes you very happy. I know you're very high on Breezango.
Oh, of course, I love me some Fashion Popo, but I gotta worry because they're going into a match here tonight against a team that I have no qualms in saying could be the very best tag team in the world.
Yes, they need to watch out for the devastating shatter machine that Dash and Dawson like to dish out to their opponents. And, you know, I brought up Chad Gable earlier. He has some history with the Revival because him along with Jason Jordan of American Alpha, they've had a history against the Revival in NXT.
It's true, it's true. Jason Jordan and Chad Gable actually won their NXT Tag Team Championship from the Revival, but they went on to lose it back to them in their very first defense.
The bell sounds and we're underway. Fandango starting things off.
Of course, the crowd making their bias felt here with their Fandangoing. But I don't know if that's helping out right now as Dash Wilder with a modified Falcon Arrow. Oh, God, and out some brutal stomps right to Fandango's sternum.
The Revival, they'll do absolutely anything to beat their opponents, including just being a very hard-hitting tag team.
Well, the Revival are vile, the Revival are vicious, but the Revival know how to win.
They absolutely do, and, you know, we're going to see if that can transition over here to SmackDown Live. And again, if they win here tonight, I really don't see any reason for Paige to not give them the next shot at the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
Absolutely. They had an absolutely fantastic showing in the triple threat to determine the #1 contenders, and Breezango have proven themselves to be a formidable force in their own right.
Yes, absolutely. And Tyler Breeze showcasing what he can do as he gets Dash Wilder down with a DDT as Breeze goes for the cover.
Tyler Breeze, in my mind, is the single most underutilized talent in the WWE. This is a guy who went toe-to-toe with Jushin Thunder Liger. He held his own against so many big names during his time in NXT, and let's not forget, he had several big wins on the main roster against the likes of guys like Dolph Ziggler at Survivor Series 2 years ago. It's the fact that Tyler Breeze couldn't really keep that momentum going that really came back to bite him. The moment he started slipping up, he was never able to really refine his footing. If he and Fandango can get on a roll here on SmackDown, this might finally be the time to shine for him.
Well, SmackDown Live is the land of opportunity, and, you know, there's a reason why they were drafted over here. Paige definitely sees potential in these two men, and guess what? I see potential in these two men as well.
Of course, who doesn't see potential in them right now are the Revival, other than maybe potential victims of the Shatter Machine here.
As Dash Wilder continues to go to work on Fandango, he hasn't made a tag yet to Scott Dawson, as Scott Dawson trips him up.
I don't think he needed to. That was brilliant right there. Not even having to risk the ref counting out for them, as Scott Dawson pulling Fandango to his doom outside the ring.
And Scott Dawson now will get to work on Fandango. Once again, still to come in our main event, Roman Reigns will be taking on Cesaro in a little warm-up, I guess you can say, before this Sunday, before the two big championship matches at No Mercy.
Warm-up and a scouting opportunity. We really want to get down to the nitty-gritty. Well, right here,
could he be
Scott Dawson getting Fandango in a leg lock. Wilder just stomping right on the knee. Of course, Fandango recently coming off of a big leg injury.
And the Revival know that. That's why they may have wanted to go to work on that leg.
Oh, man. Fireman's carry backbreaker.
As Wilder goes for the cover on Fandango, 2, and he kicks out.
That was enough to bring both Dawson and Breeze into the ring. They thought that was over.
We'd like to thank all of you for watching SmackDown Live. We are here tonight at the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota, witnessing tag team action.
Fandango showing off some of that crazy athleticism that he has, tagging in Tyler Breeze. Breeze now with an around-the-world neckbreaker. Beautiful.
One thing I have to say, though, about Breezango, they're doing an excellent job, like with teamwork, tagging in and out, getting equal amounts of work. They're definitely getting it done here so far.
Well, you got to remember, Breezango didn't even think they were going to compete here tonight, so I'm sure the best strategy for them right now is to just keep as fresh as they can. They know the Revival are all warmed up, so they can definitely go the distance. Breezango, well, not so much.
Oh, what an enziguri there from Tyler Breeze to Dash Wilder as they go for the cover, and Wilder's able to kick out.
And you see Fandango over on the apron actually getting a little bit of rest. Looks a little exhausted.
Oh, what a
supermodel kick!
As he goes for another cover, and Scott Dawson's able to break it up, but the referee is down.
Yeah, Scott Dawson like a bulldog right there charging in, and the referee, unfortunately, was in his way.
Breeze, looks like he may be setting Scott Dawson up for the unprettier. No!
Oh, went for the beauty shot. Dawson moved out of the way. Wilder was waiting right behind, ready to strike.
And the Shatter Machine! Oh, good.
I don't know if you saw. Normally it's Dawson that lands the lung blower. Or, sorry, it's usually Wilder that lands the lung blower. This time it was Dawson. That just shows the versatility of this team, able to hit their move out of absolutely anywhere in any combination.
And the Revival getting a huge win. Again, nice German suplex there from Scott Dawson. But ultimately, the Revival with the just brutal Shatter Machine to get the win here tonight. I think they're in the driver's seat for a tag team championship match coming out of No Mercy.
Well, I think so too, Brandon. And of course, take nothing away from Breezango. Remember, they were not prepared to compete here tonight at all, and they put on a fantastic showing against the Revival. And as the tag team division here on SmackDown Live continues to heat up, as we have Baron Corbin, the Lone Wolf, making his way to ringside after a very, shall we say, rude performance last week.
Yes, absolutely, and him interrupting Aleister Black after his matchup.
We were trying to track down Aleister Black after that to get a word in, but Aleister's not exactly the easiest guy to get down in an interview setting.
And Baron Corbin, a former United States champion and former Money in the Bank ladder match winner, comes down to action here tonight on the last SmackDown Live before No Mercy.
You know, Baron Corbin is a guy with so much untapped potential. You know, like you mentioned, he was a Money in the Bank holder, and then the dude goofed up and lost it to Jinder Mahal, not being able to keep his eyes on the prize, and that's still got to be eating him up to this day.
Absolutely, not to mention, he lost his Money in the Bank cash-in match via a roll-up. It wasn't even, Jinder didn't even hit the Colossus, nothing.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the best day in the Lone Wolf's career, and honestly, like, he was able to win the United States Championship as a result of it, you know, the aggression fueling him a bit, but then he got cocky again. I think the way that Ryan put it last week was really good. Corbin got a little lazy, kept looking for the easy way out, and it just never really worked out for him.
Speaking of a guy who has a lot of potential, here is Mustafa Ali.
Mustafa Ali is a superstar if I've ever seen one. This guy, wow, the heart and soul of 205, well, that was active, and now bringing his truly one-of-a-kind style of entertainment here to SmackDown Live.
He's got a big task ahead of him going against the Lone Wolf.
Yeah, this has got to be one of the biggest opponents that Mustafa Ali has ever had to face. You know, he fared very well against Elias, who had a pretty big size and strength advantage against him 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago now. Corbin is even bigger and even stronger.
Yes, absolutely, and we'll see how he fares here tonight. As they both get ready and the bell sounds, we're underway. As Corbin, with a massive shoulder tackle right out of the gate.
Yeah, Corbin not wasting any time, immediately sending Ali flying with a massive shoulder tackle.
He's whipped off the ropes.
Oh, but here we go. Ali getting some quick strikes in. Corbin back to the power game.
Mustafa Ali looking to gain any momentum here. Oh, went for the dropkick, and Corbin was able to counter.
Yeah, Corbin then went for a clothesline, but Ali countered that as well. Ooh, big Hurricanrana right there. Can Ali steal it?
No, oh my goodness, a 2.5. That looked so close.
God, Ali can really just beat you at any point in time, but right there, Corbin displaying some quickness, able to dodge Ali.
I mean, you talk about someone who has been beaten rather quickly and by surprise. It's Baron Corbin. It definitely could have happened there.
Oh, man, Ali trying to go to the skies, but Corbin just making him pay for it dearly.
Like, remember the days in NXT when the crowd would count how long Baron Corbin's matches were?
Oh, my God.
Definitely
sorry to cut you off right there. Corbin went for a powerbomb right there. Mustafa rolling him up. Oh, now a huge springboard tornado with DDT. But yeah, you're right. The crowd used to count along with how quickly Corbin was able to defeat his opponents. And yet now, here we are with Mustafa actually putting on a really big fight against Corbin. And to your point, that's what I was theorizing a week ago might have been the reason that Baron Corbin had a bit of an issue with Aleister Black. That Aleister is now taking over the big dark role of taking people out. What's going on here? Oh my God!
That just shows you the scary strength of Mustafa Ali.
Of course, using a whole lot of momentum right there to try to take out Corbin. And yet Corbin's still able to move out of the way of that attack.
And hang on a minute.
Oh no. It's Aleister Black's music. But where's Aleister?
Oh, right
oh my God!
The Black Mass!
You saw Corbin there, caught by surprise, still trying to get a strike in, but Aleister just too fast. Now Aleister Black leaving, Mustafa Ali taking advantage.
And the referee never saw it. And he goes up for the 5-4. He connects. What an assist from Aleister Black.
But Mustafa Ali scoring the biggest win of his singles career, pinning a former United States champion, former Money in the Bank holder. Mustafa Ali is showing he is here to hang.
I mean, albeit, again, it was a big assist from Aleister, but still a big, big time win for Mustafa.
Listen, Brandon, if the ref didn't see it, then it's all legal.
Well, you're right about that, and Mustafa getting the big win here tonight on SmackDown Live.
Man, Mustafa Ali really getting on a tear here on SmackDown.
Well, it looks like we have another matchup set for No Mercy. The Major Broskis getting back together to take on Drew Gulak and Gentleman Jack Gallagher.
Looks like the band is indeed back together. The former Edgeheads reuniting for the first time in years.
It's been 10 years since they won the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, and out comes the SmackDown Women's Champion, Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch recently going through a huge change in attitude, and it has done her nothing but a world of good. Now, firmly holding on to the SmackDown Women's Championship.
And one thing we definitely noticed too about Becky is an attitude change ever since the SmackDown after the WWE draft.
It's true, but you know, it's interesting. Normally people go through this kind of a change and they become completely self-centered. Becky's a little different. She doesn't care about anyone else on the women's roster, but she has remained loyal to her entire fan base, and they in turn have remained loyal to her.
See what she has before No Mercy, what's going to be going on.
Now Becky's partner here tonight, Carmella, the Princess of Staten Island, making her way down to the ring. Now Carmella had a little bit of an issue with Asuka a few weeks ago, getting taken out. Well, not quite in the way that Carmella had maybe envisioned that match was going to go.
And Carmella, a former Women's Money in the Bank ladder match winner, the first ever Women's Money in the Bank ladder match winner, would eventually go and cash in and win the SmackDown Women's Championship.
You know, don't forget that Carmella actually, well, to some extent, won the Women's Money in the Bank twice. It was the same briefcase, but she won two separate Money in the Bank matches, one at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and the other being a rematch the next Friday night on SmackDown. Or Tuesday night, I'm sorry. And may I remind you that in both of those matches, the last woman standing for Carmella to overcome was actually Becky Lynch.
Speaking of Becky, say hello to her opponent at No Mercy for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Yeah, that's right. Mickie James making a bold claim that she was coming for the title, coming off of very strong victories against both members of the Iconics. And now, Mickie is gunning for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Looking to become a 7-time Women's Champion for the seasoned veteran of WWE.
You know, Mickie has certainly been able to get under the skin of a champion Becky Lynch, but Becky seems to have remained focused on the task at hand. And the task at hand right now is ripping Mickie's arm off.
Yes, she needs to avoid the Disarmor here tonight, and she needs to avoid the Disarmor at No Mercy if she wants an opportunity to become the SmackDown Women's Champion. And her partner, Mickie's partner tonight, former NXT Champion Asuka, NXT Women's Champion, and these two actually face each other back at NXT TakeOver Toronto for that title.
Yeah, it's really interesting actually, Brandon, because both of the teams here tonight actually have a pretty large amount of history among one another. You know, more so as opponents than as partners. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they mesh here tonight.
Absolutely. I'm sure that they're going to mesh very well as a tag team. And we'll see how they fare here tonight. You know, if Mickie can get the win here on SmackDown Live, could definitely give her momentum going into her one-on-one matchup with Becky for the championship at No Mercy.
Absolutely. Momentum is the name of the game. And just the same, if Asuka or if Carmella manage to get a win here tonight, I gotta wonder what that means for them as far as Women's Championship contention.
I like to think, just like the Revival, I would like to think it gets themselves in contention for the title coming out of the first SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view.
Well, I'm sure that's certainly what both Asuka and Carmella are hoping for.
We still got a lot to come here on SmackDown Live, including our main event of AJ Styles against Cesaro, and Becky not wanting to get into action with Mickie James as she immediately tags in Carmella.
Yeah, that was interesting right there. I was about to say that. It looks like we're going to get a little No Mercy preview, but Becky Lynch tagging out immediately.
Do you think this is going to throw Mickie James off in any way, her starting off the matchup with Carmella?
Well, I'm sure Mickie really would love to get her hands on Becky Lynch right now, but I don't think so. I think Mickie came in here knowing exactly what she might have to deal with.
As Mickie goes for the cover, and Carmella is able to kick out.
You got to remember that Mickie, for the longest time, was allied with Alexa Bliss over on Monday Night Raw, and she's used to these kinds of tag team tactics.
She absolutely is, and Carmella moving around in the ring. Snapmare there.
Some modified abominable stretch.
Looks like Carmella, she may need to make a tag here to Becky Lynch at some point in this matchup as she's huddled into the corner.
Mickie right there setting her up for her patented corner Hurricane Rana, sending Carmella flying towards Asuka. And that's really not where Carmella wants to be right now, as in comes the Empress of Tomorrow.
Well, we need to remember, Jacob, that Carmella has not one, but 2 victories over Asuka, if you can believe that.
That's very true, Brandon, albeit you can never forget the asterisk of James Ellsworth next to both those victories.
Still, a win is a win, and she was able to retain her SmackDown Women's Championship win. I'm sure a lot of people doubted Carmella and her opportunity to retain her championship.
I mean, you're not wrong. Asuka's got to be one of the most dangerous women that the WWE has ever seen as part of its division.
Asuka's looking to exert some kind of revenge as she hits a massive kick right to the face of Carmella as she goes for the cover here, too, and Becky able to break things up. You want to talk about dream matchups, Jacob? We may be witnessing it right now with Becky Lynch and Asuka in the ring.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first time ever that Becky Lynch and Asuka have stood across from one another in the squared circle.
Yeah, I think you are right, and it's definitely a happening here on SmackDown Live, and we are just so excited to witness it.
Becky with a huge Bexplex right there. Looking very proud of her own work right now, but Becky, you can't take Asuka lightly.
No, absolutely not. She can strike at absolutely any time. And Becky, he's got the disarmer! He's got the disarmer on Asuka! Is Asuka going to tap?
I cannot believe this. Asuka trapped in the disarmer.
And it looked to me that Mickie James wasn't even doing anything to break it up.
I think Mickie James was knocked off the apron still from when Becky shoulder blocked her. But Asuka actually managing to hold her own, get right back in it. Oh, a big kick right there from Asuka.
It's a fine example of how Asuka can strike at any time, especially with those kicks.
Oh, that flying hip attack has taken so many victims.
Goes for the cover.
Carmella now breaking it up. Can you imagine, though, if Asuka pins Becky Lynch here tonight, and assuming Becky is able to defeat Mickie James at No Mercy, that could mean Asuka is next in line to challenge for the women's title.
Asuka versus Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship is something that I would definitely pay money to see, no doubt.
Now, here we go. Mickie is actually finally in the ring with Becky.
Finally going to get a preview of the championship match at No Mercy. As Becky is all fired up here.
Yeah, Becky is shooting out that straight fire right now.
And oh, Becky wisely making a tag to Carmella.
Oh, the mid-kick! As soon as Carmella walked in and... Wait, Becky's not even going to try to help her.
Completely walking out on her partner as Mickie James picks up the win.
Wow, that really says it all about Becky Lynch. No care for the welfare of her partner right there. Just looking to preserve as much energy for herself with the upcoming championship match.
Yes, again, these two women, Becky Lynch and Mickie James, will meet Sunday at No Mercy on pay-per-view for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Man, but what a showing by Asuka in that match. Really just hanging in there with the women's champion. I'm hoping this is something that we can come back to and revisit in the very near future.
Again, it was just a tiny little taste for what may come after No Mercy. Maybe we could potentially see a Becky Lynch-Asuka match, or I would even be happy with a Mickie James-Asuka match if Mickie wins the championship.
Absolutely, the possibilities are endless. But of course, first off, Mickie James has to get her title shot against Becky Lynch at No Mercy. And as announced per Commissioner Shane McMahon, the Major Rookies are reuniting against Gulak and Gallagher. Speaking of tag team matches, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable getting their title opportunity. Of course, Baron Corbin, Aleister Black finally able to settle their differences. And per the double countout last week, Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe both getting an Intercontinental Championship match. And of course, Roman Reigns versus Sheamus, AJ Styles versus Cesaro, WWE Championship, Universal Championship. What a lineup at No Mercy.
It all takes place this Sunday on pay-per-view as Roman Reigns, who is coming out now for our main event, with AJ Styles in his corner to take on AJ Styles' opponent, like you said, at No Mercy, Cesaro, the Swiss Superman.
You know, it's crazy. We have the WWE Champion and the Universal Champion walking out as allies here tonight, and yet I can't help but think that they might be at a disadvantage. Sheamus and Cesaro have been firmly in the driver's seat this entire month, ever since they found out they'd be getting championship opportunities.
I honestly feel, Jacob, if Roman Reigns loses this matchup here tonight, even though AJ is not necessarily involved physically, I really feel that this has to throw AJ Styles off.
Absolutely. He'd be watching his opponent taken off while basically his counterpart here. And if Cesaro can knock off Roman, then AJ knows he's in for a hell of a fight.
And again, like we mentioned at the very top of the show, each edition of SmackDown ever since the WWE Draft has ended with one of, or even in some cases both members of the bar standing tall on top at the end of the show, and we could potentially be seeing this again here tonight before No Mercy this Sunday.
You gotta imagine that Roman Reigns right now, while he must be at least a little comforted by the fact that he does have a little backup against Sheamus and Cesaro, must be wary as well, because we know there can't be two world champions on the same brand for long. So sooner or later, something's gonna have to give with him and AJ.
And Sheamus, well, let's talk about Sheamus for a second here. Roman Reigns' opponent, a very accomplished superstar here in WWE, as we've mentioned before, former multi-time tag team champion, former Money in the Bank ladder match winner, Royal Rumble winner, and four-time world champion. He could become a five-time world champion by the end of Sunday.
All he has standing in his way is a very angry Samoan.
And Cesaro looking for his first piece of World Championship gold here in WWE. He's been a former tag team champion with Sheamus and a former United States champion.
Yeah, don't forget he was also a former tag team champion with Tyson Kidd as well.
That is right. Yes, they were former tag team champions back in 2015.
And Cesaro is like a Swiss Army knife, though. It doesn't matter what kind of a match he's having, he has the proper weapons in his arsenal to handle any opponent that stands against him in that ring.
Absolutely. And Cesaro and Roman actually have a little bit of history with each other, believe it or not. They faced off in the tournament at Survivor Series. In the build-up for the WWE Championship, they actually faced off in the quarterfinals. Roman, of course, getting the win over Cesaro and him going on to win the tournament. And that allowed Sheamus then to cash in his Money in the Bank contract as the bell sounds and we're underway.
It's true, and I personally consider the match that Roman and Cesaro had to be one of Roman Reigns' absolute best matches of his entire career.
I have to agree with you on that, and they definitely tore the house down on that edition of Monday Night Raw, and we could very well see it again here on SmackDown, on the last SmackDown Live before No Mercy. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are live from the Target Center in Minneapolis as Roman goes for the cover and Cesaro quickly kicks out.
See, right now, these covers early on, Roman and Cesaro know they're not about to end this match right now, but it is a good way to just start to build that momentum for themselves throughout this match, to really try and show their opponent, hey, I'm in control.
I expect nothing but back and forth action here. We're definitely seeing that at the very early stages here of the match as Cesaro shows just his killer strength, suplexing all 265 pounds of Roman Reigns off the apron.
Roman able to get right back in it, though, at least for now. I think he's going to try to take Cesaro down to the mat, but good luck with trying to be a technician against the Swiss Superman.
For a guy his size, you know, I mentioned this with Braun Strowman, Cesaro, you know, he may not have a huge frame, but his...
Oh my God! Roman tried to run into Cesaro. Cesaro just jumping right in there with a wild swinging uppercut.
How tall Cesaro is, he's just super, super agile, and you're definitely seeing it in the early stages of this match as Roman Reigns tries to counter Cesaro with what he is bringing to him.
Yeah, Roman right now hitting hard, hitting heavy, taking Cesaro down hit after hit.
And Roman countering, with a kick right to the gut. Cesaro whipping Roman into the corner. What could he be thinking here? Goes back into the second corner, referee knocked down.
Cesaro going for a running uppercut. Roman countering with a huge Uranagi.
And Roman, could he be setting things up? He's got Cesaro vulnerable. Could he be going for the... No, he countered the Superman punch.
Now Cesaro back in the driver's seat. There's that running uppercut.
Could he be going for the neutralizer right away? No, he's got a big position.
We haven't seen this in a while.
The giant swing. As the crowd comes along.
What does it say to you? What does it say to you that Cesaro has to resort to the swing, which we haven't seen him use in well over a year now?
He shows he's going to do anything to beat Roman Reigns here tonight as Roman still kicks out. Roman is fired up.
Fired up, walked right into an uppercut, but Cesaro now countering out of what looked to be a huge combo by Reigns.
One thing you don't want to do, Jacob, is get Roman pissed off, and it looks like Cesaro has definitely gotten Roman pissed off.
Roman now looks like he's setting up for something again. I think he's going to try to hit a Superman punch after that last one didn't quite work out.
And he got it.
Oh, he hit it this time.
That usually sets up opponents for the spear. Could he get it? He got him. No!
No! Cesaro with a huge DDT.
Oh my goodness. Going off the second rope.
Corkscrew springboard uppercut. Oh man, Roman powering out though.
Jacob, honestly, that is probably one of, if not my favorite move in Cesaro's entire arsenal. That corkscrew uppercut off the middle rope, and another uppercut!
Calls that one the Swiss Death, and that might be it for Roman.
And a kick out by Roman at 2.
The resiliency of Roman Reigns is next level.
Back and forth we go here. Could one of the champions finally stand tall here in our main event?
Oh! Huge shoulder tackle by Cesaro, getting all the momentum, rebounding off the opposite ropes.
As the referee starts his count.
I think Cesaro thought for a moment about throwing Roman back in the ring, but instead choosing to deal a little bit more punishment outside.
What could Cesaro be thinking here? I mean, he has Roman Reigns into the corner, whipping him into the LED ring post.
Oh, and into the ring post on the other side of the ring now. And a huge half Nelson suplex.
Referee's count of 7. They need to get back into the ring, which they do.
Roman thought he could maybe slip a quick one in there on Cesaro, but Cesaro, huge German suplex.
Again, showcasing that scary strength. Even with the kinesiology tape, it doesn't affect anything of what Cesaro can do.
Oh,
nice
Michinoku driver.
Could he be...
Now Roman calling for the Superman punch.
Could he hit it a second time? No!
No!
Death!
Catching him mid-jump.
Catching a mid-death.
Now Cesaro, no wasted motion. Immediately, neutralizer. Cesaro pins the Universal Champion. My God, that's got to be the biggest win in Cesaro's career.
Oh my goodness, getting a win over the Universal Champion. And take this into account too, Jacob. No real interference from Sheamus.
Nothing. That was as clean as it gets. You can't take anything away from Cesaro.
What a hell of a match to end the last SmackDown before the first exclusive pay-per-view, No Mercy. Again,
there's one more look at the Swiss Death that really set up the beginning of the end. And take a look at this neutralizer ending Roman Reigns. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We'll see you this Sunday at No Mercy.